Good morning. It's me, Pearl from Pearl in the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we'd like to see changes in our lives, we have to shift and flow with the energy that we find within us in order to make these changes. Today is that special day, obstacles removed, where we take a look at what is keeping us from moving into the next level of whatever it is we want to move to the next level of, in a relationship or in a career, in our practice, in our spiritual, just on our spiritual journey in general, etc., etc. No one was talking today. No cards were showing. No lyrics were playing, except for this one song that was kind of like, I don't know, it didn't even seem relevant. So, I mean, it did to me, but like to no one else. So, I don't know. I feel like the twins are like not really wanting to talk to each other right now very much, or they don't have much to say, or they don't know what to say. Something like that. But let's start with divine masculine. And we're going to start first with the general energy surrounding the block. So head space and heart space we do at the same time. And remember, if you're here about a person, it doesn't matter what the biology of your person is. That person is going to have both feminine and masculine energy within them. And that person is going to be reflecting your energy. So if you're not sure how the energy relates to you when you hear one side or the other, it's your work to try to figure that out. That's the secret to coming into union. Good luck. Okay. Divine masculine headspace. Top of the deck, we have Temperance from the Small Spells Tarot, coming out with the Five of Cups in reverse from the Wild Unknown Tarot. So Temperance is a card that is normally about patience. It is about balancing ourselves out. It is about protection, spiritual protection, higher level relationships similar to the Hierophant, but the same kind of like ethereal, otherworldly sort of elements. And with coming out with the Five of Cups, pretty significant because the Five of Cups is typically a card that is about sadness, disappointment, pessimism versus optimism. And in this particular imagery, when I'm seeing a reversal on it, for me, it's about no longer staying focused on the darkness, but actually realizing that there are cups full. So this is getting control of our disappointment and our sadness and balancing the energy out within ourselves, of our emotions. If there's anger, starting to quell the anger. If there's anger from the past, no longer focusing on the things that bring us those feelings of jealousy or whatever those anger or passionate emotions are that were difficult to control. So masculine energy right now is tempering this tendency towards pessimism and sadness and over emotionality, which he doesn't regulate because he doesn't feel comfortable with. The actual obstacle. We have the Father of Swords in reverse and the Three of Swords upright. So head space, heart space. So divine masculine is not wanting to cut out third-party energy entirely. He's not wanting to hurt someone. But this can also be about releasing cold, icy aloofness. So there's a couple layers here. For some, because this is a collective reading, and if you want a personal reading to actually know if this is about you or not, or your person, go to pearlsprayers.com. You can click Tuned In Tarot to see different services, or just click the booking tab And you can see all the different options available to you for personal readings. So from a collective standpoint, there are some that are having a hard time cutting out third-party energy. I don't feel that for everybody. For others, it's really more about understanding how, actually really intellectually processing how the emotional detachment that divine masculine has had to go into in order to not feel the pain that he causes. Good morning, Elizabeth. Lol. I can't. He doesn't. Nobody wants to talk today. I knew when the songs came out without lyrics and the cards didn't flip, I was like, it's gonna be one of these days where I'm like, He doesn't want to admit to himself. He doesn't want to intellectualize the pain he's caused by his emotional detachment. It's like he thought he was doing a good thing sometimes, I think. I think he thought of himself. I'm picturing a person who has multiple parties. He's engaged with multiple parties. So karmic relationships, okay? Surface level ones. And maintained a level of detachment in those engagements. And is not wanting to face now the pain that caused. This is an obstacle because if we can't face the pain that we've caused, good morning, Sarah, then we can't forgive ourselves for it and we hold it as a block. So he's really focused a lot on his own problematic emotional detachment, the pain he's caused in severing ties. And there may be some in the collective that are having difficulty actually doing the severing of the ties. The first position is, where did this block originate? Oh my God. The Lovers, upright, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So the Ten of Wands is about having a big burden, carrying a big burden, okay? And it's about, and it can be about communication. And when you put the burden down, you're like finally sharing this information. You're finally unburdening yourself. And in some cases, this masculine may have unburdened himself of some lovers. So I do think it's very possible that divine masculine has met someone, the divine feminine, who he would like to be in union with. In order to do that, he has to clear up the karma, right? Which requires emotional detachment, or required emotional detachment, because he had to sever ties with people who probably had emotional bonds with him, even if he did not. So he feels bad now. He feels cruel now. And he feels cruel to in what position he put the divine feminine as he was trying to manifest their relationship. He put her in this position and not wanting to burden their union, and not communicating about what was going on to the feminine. So all of these things are playing out. But basically, this obstacle is coming from him having recently put down multiple parties. I have like no ego anymore in regards to multiple parties. I'm like, okay, chill. I don't know. It just doesn't bother me anymore. I'm like, all right, whatever. Guess I worked out that one. How is this block currently manifesting in 3D? Oh my God. The Three of Cups in reverse and the fucking Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. So again, multiple layers here. For those in the collective, for the masculines in collective that cut out third-party energy, there is now difficulty in facing these truths about how we, as we had this third-party energy, have blocked ourselves from coming into union. So that's one. The other part, which is that some masculines still have not yet cut out those ties. They have been afraid to cut ties with the third party. They are now still in these old third party relationships, and they can't see new ways of being. They can't see like a different way of experiencing like this is how they've always like partied or celebrated, or it's always been a part of who they are. So now they're having a difficult time of like seeing themselves in a new way. And then it could also be about not being exactly sure because you've always acted in this other way without emotional intent. It's now like uncertain. I need clarity, or I need new ideas about how to actually come into a real union now that I've released third parties, or how I'm going to do it. How will I release or cut out these third parties? Or I don't want to. I'm not being honest with myself. Again, there's multiple people who see these readings, so there's multiple divine masculine energies coming through. What will help remove it? Oh, no shit. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles. Make a choice, bro. And the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So the Two of Pentacles is about juggling things back and forth, and it's about decision making, making a choice. It also normally has a lemniscate, which is referencing an eternal dance, or a yin yang, which is like the back and forth twin flame energy as well. The Eight of Pentacles in this deck with the spider, this is about doing the work, choosing to do the work. Like if this masculine is having a difficult time facing these truths about either the pain that he caused when he cut these third parties out, or the pain that he caused in carrying these when he tried to approach the feminine, whatever it is, he's got to do the work of actually he's got to choose to do the work of actually healing himself from the wounds he received when he inflicted them. Elizabeth, I see you saying you have such a big ego over third parties. I did for a long time, but I just don't as much now. And it's partially from doing this work, I believe, and just really trusting that, like, you know, if divine masculine is with a third party, he's a mess. Because if he's in alignment, divine masculine is with divine feminine. So a karmic that is not ready for the kind of stuff I'm ready for, she can have the version of the masculine that's not ready. Like, go ahead. Thank you. I'm not into it. I don't want that mess. Thank you. So that's my feeling about karmic third party stuff now, where I'm just sort of like, oh, okay, well, you still got lessons to learn? Go learn them, babes. I'm going to learn my own lessons with some other third parties of my own, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't bother me anymore. Okay. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? I can't. Okay. The Judgment card is in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So I need to release my judgment, my harsh criticism of myself, of the way that I behaved when I was single and independent and exploring. I need to not be afraid that I wasn't able to hold the space for what it was that I desired, for the reward that I desired. Because right now the masculine is judging himself so harshly. He feels like because he did what he did, he doesn't deserve the reward that he really earns and this Eight of Pentacles as he does the work. But we're seeing progression here. Like, remember, this is the obstacle that he needs to remove right now. So this is a lot of guilt and anxiety over hurting others, having engaged in multiple connections at once, and not having any real commitment, not holding the space for that reward for himself. He has to release that. And he needs to release any attachments. If there's a third party he's still holding on to that is not the divine feminine, that needs to be released as well. And there needs to be forgiveness and apologies. What can I learn from this current pause? The High Priestess in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this is a really, really angry feminine energy. Probably Elizabeth over here, who's still got a big ego over third parties. No, just kidding. Oh, Sarah, I'm seeing your comment. How do we get this dummy to choose to do the work? Uh-oh, I gotta go in. Don't be calling yourself a dummy. This is your work that you have to do. And if you're like, what do you mean? I don't have third parties. Well, let me tell you what. You are a person composed of two energies, masculine and feminine. And if you as a person are seeking fulfillment outside of yourself, the other person that you're focused on, your twin, that's your third party. And your own inner divine masculine feels jealousy and possessiveness because you won't focus on yourself. So you need to do work in releasing whatever person you're attached to that's preventing you from coming into a sacred union inside of yourself, which means the other person doesn't matter more than you do. So that's where, if you do the work that I just said, the person that you're asking, how do we get this person to do the work? Either that person does the work and lines up with you, or they fall away, and a person who is willing to do that work steps up. So when I'm doing these readings, you have to figure out, wait, how do I have trouble making choices to do the work on, what did Elizabeth say? A big ego over third party energy. Here it is right here. And the thing is, Elizabeth, third parties does not always mean a person. I just said it could be you that is the third party preventing him from coming into union in himself. It could be his career, his reputation. It could be the location where he lives. It could be whatever obstacle prevents him from sacred union of self. If it's a person that you're focused on, that will be the third party. It does not mean that he has somebody that he's having a relationship with. There are some in the collective who are having that experience, and there are some that do not. So again, you really, like, this is more about you than it is about this other person. The more you focus on this other person when you get these readings, the less likely you're going to be to come into union, because the work of these readings is that you have to figure out how this is you. That's the work. So start doing that, and you'll see your relationship with people in your life, all people, not just the person you're focused on, everybody. You will see it shift. So what divine masculine is learning from this current pause, he's learning about how to deal with his ego, and he's learning how to trust his divine feminine and trust himself. Now remember, divine masculine could also be thinking about all of this third party stuff in regards to the feminine. He might be being icy cold and aloof because he's feeling butt sore over third party energy that he's watching the feminine be distracted by instead of focusing on him. He could be having a feeling that divine feminine has unburdened herself and told him that she has interest in other parties. And so right now he's experiencing these uncomfortable feelings and these old ideas about potentially third-party energy getting in the way of his union. And so he needs to choose to work on the issues that are blocking him from believing that he can come into union with the feminine that he desires. He has to release fears that that space for the feminine he desires is held or isn't held. So that's how this works. It's not just there's a masculine person. This is the masculine energy inside of us. All right. And then the final position is, what can I look forward to once the obstacle is removed? Oh my. 10 of Wands upright and the Sun in reverse. Oh, this is interesting. If the Sun was upright, I would be like, wow. We're going to be completely enlightened. Everything's going to come into the light and we're going to experience so much joy. But we get this really strange 10 of Wands with all these snakes and all these cards. And our joy is still difficult for us to experience. It's still just out of reach. And so for this masculine, he has to continue to he carries this burden of these fears of temptation, either him being tempted or the divine feminine being tempted. He is afraid of it. And so he carries this feeling that there is a chance that his happiness could still elude him. So there is still a fear here that this masculine has. But ultimately, what we're seeing is that he is going to communicate his fears. He's going to communicate these anxieties to the feminine or unburden them or tell her what has made him unhappy or what has prevented him from being able to make her happy. Now, that's also possible. Once he does tell the feminine everything that he's been hiding, he fears that it will be a burden on her and that she won't be happy to hear what he has to say. So that is something he's concerned about or worried about. And we'll go back to his oracles and help him out after. Let's go to the feminine side of self. Well, gee whiz, feminine, the general energy surrounding where you're blocked right now, not surprisingly, the Lovers and the Hierophant. So Divine Feminine has the Lovers in her headspace. This is a card of manifestation and, of course, manifesting something in the physical realm so that you're coming into union with a desire that you have. The Hierophant is a card that is about higher level relationships, higher level learning, education, authority, tradition. So Divine Feminine is wanting a traditional union. She is wanting sacred union. She is wanting a marriage. And she's feeling blocked in achieving this right now. What is the obstacle? The Ace of Coins upright and the 10 of Swords upright. So betrayal and something being stuck and just not coming. This is the offer of marriage, prosperity, health, well-being, all of those things, union, whatever. This is separation. This offer ends the separation. But what keeps happening is, good morning, Lena. This offer keeps being put on the table and then withdrawn in this betrayal energy. And so Divine Feminine is desiring this offer, but feeling like it's stuck, like it's not moving towards her. It's interesting because it's also being carried away. It's being carried away. And look, it's like a person, and it almost ends up looking like a pentacle because of the wheel it forms. It's like she's feeling like missed opportunity or like things keep getting stuck. Where did this block originate? I just said that. So weird. The Wheel of Fortune, and then Judgment and the Three of Swords in reverse came out together. So this divine timing of this rebirth, the time, the length of time it's taking, and remember, divine time is a mental state, right? It's a state of mind. And Divine Feminine has been trying to fill this void. In the Judgment card, we receive salvation from this feeling of separation that exists until we finally achieve that rebirth and salvation, when we know we are always in union with the divine. The Three of Swords in reverse is healing these wounds. So forgiving the betrayal, forgiveness for the wounds that we received. If the block is the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, and it originated with the fact that this timeline being out of her hands, I guess. This is where it's because she can't control this timeline. Like, she's like, I'm healing the wounds and I'm doing the work and I'm connecting with the divine, and still there's no movement, there's no change. And like, I'm still stuck. And so that's where this block is originating. She can't stop focusing on the lack of wealth and prosperity and abundance. She just keeps seeing the separation and the lack. How is this currently manifesting in the 3D? Wow. The Empress and the Tower came out together, and then the Knight of Cups. So she's releasing all this old stuff that didn't serve her, all this decadence. The Empress is an energy of waiting for something. So she's waiting for this move. She's waiting for someone to make a move, or for this large shift to take place. And the Knight of Cups is about somebody actually coming forward and expressing love. So she's waiting to see this major shift, this major movement of the masculine energy to express love or be open to receiving the offers that she has extended. What will help remove it? Death in reverse and the Devil in reverse. It's interesting. If one or the other was upright, it would make more sense. Both of them in reverse is a conundrum, but death is not wanting something to end, or death in reverse is, it can be about not wanting something to end, like not wanting something to die. And it can also be about something finally being reborn. And then the Devil card in reverse is usually about releasing our a karmic energy, karmic partner, karmic cycles, codependency, addiction. This will help remove the block of feeling stuck. So I think it is like no longer believing, like releasing your fears and anxieties that this will not be reborn. Divine Feminine has just been afraid that there will be no rebirth, that the length of time that it is taking is some kind of a punishment or judgment that's not allowing this to be reborn. There's a feeling here of like, I'm not working enough, or I'm not doing enough, or something. There's some reason why I can't have this thing. So releasing this fear or obsession or fixation or focus on the separation and the rebirth. Just live. Instead of being concerned about when something's going to happen or what's it, just live right now. Just right now. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? We've got the Two of Pentacles. And then we have something so interesting. It came out with the King of Swords in reverse, which for me is about confusion. So not having clarity about making some kind of a decision. And then we're also getting the Empress again, but this time it's in reverse. And so here's what I'm seeing. Going back and forth, right? Between choosing to wait on an aloof, an icy cold, aloof King of Swords who is blocked. So waiting on this energy here, this person who is blocked, right? This is what is causing you to stay stuck. You have to stop waiting for someone who has been emotionally unavailable and cruel. This is a decision you're making. You're also choosing to allow the masculine to make the choice. Look, this is a masculine arm. What? Okay. Let me just clear this up for you. This is how it works. Okay? You are an empress. All right? You know what an empress gets? An empress gets suitors, multiple, lovers, multiple. And who knows it? The masculine. This empress doesn't wait for a masculine energy to choose her. No. This empress absolutely chooses herself. And when she does that, she reinforces the concept that the empress is always chosen, which means that there are many options, not one, and certainly not one who looks like this. So she's got to release these aspects. Now remember, that's her over here, emotionally detached. Why? Probably because she doesn't want to cut out the third party that she should cut out in order to move forward. Oh, it's so complicated. All right. What can I learn from this current pause? Every day, in every way, I get better and better. The Two of Swords upright and the Sun, which we already saw over here for outcome for divine masculine, except it was in reverse. For the feminine, it's upright. This is what she's learning. She's learning how she blocks her own happiness by not making a choice. If she made a choice to stop waiting for an emotionally unavailable masculine, she would find many emotionally available people that were options for her. And she would be able then to experience happiness because she would be able to come into alignment with an energy that matches her, which is the goal, right? Is the goal while you're here just to be with your person, or is it to be in union and experiencing joy? You have convinced yourself that being with your person is the key, right? The key, the Hierophant to experiencing joy. You're like, nope, this person is the only way I'll ever experience joy. And the universe is like, God damn it. Because that means I have to constantly take your joy away a little bit at a time, the more you focus on this other person, because you won't learn this lesson if you don't understand that when you focus on someone else instead of yourself, you will not be able to achieve fulfillment. All right. The final outcome. What can I look forward to once the obstacle is removed? The 10 of Swords in reverse and the 9 of Swords upright. There's the block, and here it is removed. And how did you remove it? By facing your fears. Remember, the beast that was carrying away your happiness, you face it, and you don't allow yourself to be mentally entrapped anymore by your fears and anxieties about your separation, because you realize that you are not in separation. You are in separation from a physical person or a physical manifestation that you currently desire, but that separation is an illusion created by your mind. You are always actually in union. And it is this idea that you need to possess someone physically or be possessed physically, chosen or choosing or having some kind of a physical union exchange that somehow separates you from the spiritual experience. That focus is what causes you to not be able to be happy right now. Let's get help for y'all today. Divine Masculine, let's start with you. You are in the light attributes right now of the Father energy, and this is where the union was yesterday. This is a talent for creating and supporting life and being a positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So you are no longer in the shadow attributes of dictatorial control or abuse of authority. And I think you're just being very, like, if you actually are a parent, you're being a good paternal energy for your child right now, no matter what your gender, or you're really allowing the you're like being an example, and you're functioning as this positive guiding light for your children or for those around you if you don't have children. St. Anthony of Padua is here to emphasize that you have found it. You might be afraid that you haven't found what you are looking for, but you have. And St. Anthony is there for you if you're feeling doubt, like, because Divine Masculine has found the one. And if you are feeling doubt about that, St. Anthony is there to reassure you. You are getting cow spirit. The miracles are endless, and it is the protection message. This is the 15th card. It says, cow spirit asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit, because right now you are wobbling around like a newborn calf on its unsteady legs. Perhaps you've been spending too much time distracting yourself on the internet, or obsessing over a relationship, or choosing to eat food that is not healthy. Whatever it is, you're being nudged to assess how you are looking after your needs. Remember, the universe has a way of reflecting back to you events and conditions that match how you treat yourself. Cow spirit reminds you that the universe wants to give you the very best, but needs you to do your part to participate and nourish your well-being. Heed her message, and everything will shift in your favor. So start taking care of yourself, masculine, if you have not. It's going to be like a magic button. Then you are getting this card, Oboedire. That's hard to pronounce. It is number 3. This is your healing process for your obstacle. This is from Elena Fairchild's White Light Oracle. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to our human collective. Oboedire is the Latin basis for the word obedience. Far from conforming to authority, the original meaning was to listen, to hear, and to not turn away. The oracle of Oboedire is about becoming a sacred rebel, giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of the spirit unconditionally. That means refusing to torture yourself with horror stories that society and your own mind conjure up from time to time. This guidance is encouraging you to connect through your heart with the spiritual light, wisdom, and guidance within. The oracle asks you to believe in the power of spirit to show you the way through all troubles. There is a message from our loving universe for you. You will feel it in your own heart. This is an oracle that asks us to get out of our own way. Often we make things more difficult for ourselves, even when our intentions are good. This is because we see things from a limited or partial perspective. This doesn't mean we should refuse to act at all. It just means that as we practice sensing and following spirit by tuning into the heart, we will act from a more centered and wisely guided place. Our actions will be more likely to hit the mark. Oops. And it says you're also encouraged to ditch the drug of doubt. Doubt undermines your confidence and sends you on a mission to gain approval before making every decision. Approval can become the hit that alleviates doubt temporarily, but it prevents you from building the strength you need to listen for your own spiritual knowing. You have it within you to be spiritually sovereign. This oracle asks you to recognize your inner potential and to practice trusting yourself and your capacity to respond to life's unpredictable happenings with soul-honoring integrity. All right, Divine Masculine. And wait till you see your theme for this week. It's the Four of Swords. Healing. I'm so excited for you to be quiet and heal for a whole other week. ... But the Four of Swords is about no longer resisting grief. It's about experiencing grief where it needs to be experienced. So if you cut out people recently and you feel bad about it, masculine, then give yourself the space to appropriately grieve. Grieve over how you acted in ways that did not make you feel proud of yourself or whatever it is that happened. Just allow the grief to happen. This is also just to allow healing, and it's about faith. And that card was about faith. Faith that things will work out, that miracles are endless. All right. Let's go over and see where Divine Feminine is. Divine Feminine is in the light attributes of the teacher. This is the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So, and she's also, look, she's holding those two halves of the planet, and it looks like she's like going to push them together. And it always gives me this feeling of like the completion, that she's learning what she needs to learn to be able to heal the planet. And this is the spiritual journey that she's on, to become a teacher or guide for others, a wounded healer. Divine Feminine, you're receiving 2 guardians today. You're getting your guardian angel who is telling you to pay attention to the signs today. It says sign from above. And then we're getting Padre Pio, Saint Padre Pio healing card. And it came out in reverse. And it's interesting because look, these gestures are so similar. And obviously we're supposed to pay attention to signs. So I feel that the feminine has done what she's needed to do to heal the heart space, and she's just waiting for the masculine energy. And Saint Padre Pio, who's the saint of healers, you can ask him if he will go and assist the masculine energy within self that still needs healing, that's still distorted. You're getting, oh, I can't get it. Nightingale spirit, which is love is all around. And this is 41. You're getting the protection message, which says, the darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. Wow. Look at this. This is literally your block. This is what you want, and this is what it looks like right now. So the darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. But Nightingale Spirit is here to remind you that the sun will shine again. You will soon feel the love and notice the abundance that surrounds you. Sing now. Put on some music or simply sing in the empty space, for finding the light within and giving it voice will give rise to hope and help you begin to hear the call of another who, like you, was beginning to fear the light would never come. Bring the light into the darkness with love from within. Give it voice and know that daybreak will be here soon. Okay, well, if you sing, go ahead and start singing, I guess. Your healing divine feminine is coming from Dakini of Infinite Light. This is number 9 in the White Light Oracle. Seek and you shall find. Find the teachers and teachings which feel pure to your heart. But remember, it is the inner truth of you that will ultimately set you free. Do not give your power away, but do trust in a greater guiding wisdom at work in all aspects of your life. Ask for help from enlightened spiritual beings in any matter of concern, and help shall be granted. Believe all problems can be resolved, and a more graceful life experience is opening up for you now. A Dakini is a supernatural feminine being who inspires spiritual practice, guides one to actualize siddhis or spiritual abilities, and teaches the inner path of awakening. She protects us from negativities and restores our vital energies. She teaches us how to act with wisdom. She can be a demanding teacher, requiring us to reflect upon the mystery she presents through our dreams, inspirations, and meditations, and then proceed to unravel them. As we do so, we develop our inner capabilities and become stronger. These wild feminine creatures can be gentle or fierce, or a combination of both. When she appears in a reading, travel your path and explore your questions about spirituality and awakening with confidence, for much progress can be made as you do. The Oracle of the Dakini of Infinite Light augurs an increase of light in your life. This can include a lightening up after a difficult time, the light skies after the darkness, right? An increase of clarity from a helpful healing and higher perspective, or a clear, positive path opening up through a troublesome time. Her appearance signifies sacred victory. Call upon her and do not give up. Beautiful energy. And then your theme is the Eight of Cups, Divine Feminine. So continue to keep it pushing away from anything that doesn't serve you, any of these behaviors that don't serve you. In this particular reading, we were seeing that what doesn't serve you is waiting around for an emotionally unavailable person. If somebody isn't ready for you, then walk away towards your union within self, that higher calling, which on traditional tarot has the sun and moon united together, masculine, feminine energy. Have that be your goal, that you seek to feel the fulfillment that comes from your own interests and passions. And as you explore those things, and as you really align with your purpose and with your mission, the things that you desire start to come to you, because you are, remember, you are the Empress, right? And you've been waiting for this person to swoop in and offer you a complete shift or change. And the universe is telling you, choose differently. Choose differently. So walk away from this waiting for this person. This person is not demonstrating worthiness currently. If this person was in their worthiness, there would be no obstacle. But they are not demonstrating their worthiness in the current moment. They might, as you start to really assert your worthiness. But if you are in a holding pattern or waiting for this masculine energy, you are not in worthiness. Get into your worthiness. All right. Let us now do the closing cards for the union. I have to pick this one up. It's bothering me. Okay. There. Now my OCD will be fine. Okay. So these are the cards that you are both in union in regards to. These are the points of complete intersection between you. And before I finish this, I can't believe what a short reading this was today. It was very nice, actually, because I have a lot of stuff to do. If you would like a personal reading, please go to pearlsprayers.com, click Tuned In Tarot. You can also click on the booking tab and see all the different services there. If you need help choosing a service, go to the email on the contact page, or on the about page, or fill out the contact form that's like, I think it's in a drop down tab from the booking tab. And just say, hey, I need help choosing, and either myself or my assistant Ash will get back to you in 24 hours to help you choose something. And then if you want to just support me, I really, really need support. It's a pretty serious situation here. I've got to pay rent. I've got to pay for food, and it's not even about getting a car anymore. It's just about getting through December. So please, if you can click support or book a personal reading to help, I'd be so appreciative. You can also send me a deck if you'd like to send me new imagery for the channel. I'm wanting more feminine decks. I feel like I keep getting masculine, like feeling decks, and I want some more feminine decks. So there's a list of decks that are available to me, or available that I would like to call in. If you'd like to send those to me, there's a link below or on my website. And for everyone who's here and supports me every day and shares and likes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok. So I'm almost at the creator level, and that's exciting. So let's keep it going by sharing as much as you can. Thank you. And check out my music also as well. Pearl in the Prayers, I just released It's Me, Babe in July. Let's finish the reading. Okay, you are both in the shadow attributes, the Hermit, which is withdrawing from society out of fear or negative judgment of others and refusing to help those in need. So you're afraid. You're both afraid. You're very afraid. And so you're keeping to yourselves, and you're not really talking to each other, or you're not telling people about what it is that you desire, or you're just sort of retreating because you're afraid. You're afraid. Divine Feminine, she's afraid she's not going to get what she desires. And Divine Masculine is afraid he's not going to get what he desires. And what they desire is each other. And it's so frustrating to read it. It's just like the most frustrating thing in the world. St. Michael the Archangel is here to help you with confidence and to break down any of these barriers and just plow through these obstacles with you and for you, so that light can shine through you, so that you can do this mission that you have on the earth. And you can't do this mission when you're focused on being separated from someone. So come into union in the self and allow that to take place on the outside, and then get it over with already. Like, I can't anymore. I'm just starting to get a headache. Hawk Spirit. Let Spirit be your guide, which is also coming out with Spirit Owl. So, wow, we're getting a lot of like flying bird of prey type energy. Hawk Spirit says, flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song, or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. So have confidence in the signs that you are seeing and receiving, and understand that those signs are showing you where you need to go. It's leading the way. Trust your intuition. Have confidence in those signs. Your healing process is the Spirit of the Owl. And I think I will actually, since this is a relatively short reading, I think I will actually do the healing process for you and end the video with this healing process. Yes. Okay. So I'll read that whole thing and then do the process. But before that, I'm going to give you the final theme for the week. And I'm also going to choose this. Oops. No, that's not what I want. I do not want to watch a show now. Thank you. Please. Great. I want my musics. 8:52. I'm just looking for, yes, that is what I want. Miracle tones. How do I choose one? Let's see. This one looks like it might be nice. All right. So the theme for this week, it's the Seven of Wands. This is standing our ground, fighting off opposing energies, opposing behaviors inside of us that are blocking us from the things we desire. It's about having healthy boundaries, but it can also be about lowering our defenses if we've been really prickly with our person and not really letting them in and not just keeping our guard up because we're afraid of how they're going to hurt us or whatever, the fear of intimacy that we've got still kind of flowing through the reading here. Let your guard down. Maintain healthy boundaries with those that you know are draining of your energy, but don't block yourself from receiving what you desire, and make sure you're assessing when you're setting those boundaries. Hi, Saffron. I'm seeing you. All right, so we're going to do the healing process now, and I will just end up saying goodbye to you now, and then I will just turn the video off at the end of the healing process so that you can maintain quiet, and if you want to sit with the healing process for longer than I have available on the video. I don't know why I can't talk today. I told you, nobody's wanting to talk today. So before I start this, just let me say thank you for being here. Thank you for staying all the way to the end for your healing process. And you will catch me again. I'm probably going to do a live today on TikTok. So I will be doing some one card pulls for people or some $11 twin flame unblocking readings sometime before 3 p.m. today. And then I have a production session, and then I'm going to a show at the Silver Lake Lounge. I'm very excited. It'll be fun. Anti-clockwise. So I'm going to go see that tonight. And I will be back tomorrow morning with the Tell Me Everything spread. And on Friday, we will do Release and Rebuild. Either Saturday or Sunday, I will be doing Grace Strega, an hour on TikTok where we will answer questions live. And then we will do an hour on Instagram where you can choose your own personal reading. So stay tuned for that this weekend. Here is your spirit owl of 852 hertz. Recalibration to a higher, look at that. Okay. Recalibration to a higher order of divine purpose is in progress. It is not always a smooth ride, but it is safe to be fearless as you gently hold space for new ways of thinking, living, and seeing to emerge. You are encouraged to let go of opinions and belief systems that cannot support you in higher frequency states. You shall soon recognize a truth that cuts through confusion and frees you to proceed with love, peace, and higher understanding. Spirit Owl is the wisdom bearer, the one who perceives the intended meaning underlying words and the truth behind appearances. Even in darkness, Spirit Owl senses subtle movements with accuracy. The heightened senses of Spirit Owl are akin to the supernatural perception of the higher self. Your higher self sees through illusion and with compassion. It astutely recognizes the agendas of the ego and tunes into the empowering energies of the universe to find a constructive way to express its loving purpose. I couldn't describe the Seven of Wands better than that, actually, because your higher self sees through the illusion. These other wands, those really are not anything but yourself, and recognizes the agendas of the ego and tunes into the empowering energy of the universe, which is this one wand right here, to find a constructive way to break down those barriers. Spirit Owl enhances your connection to your higher self. Okay, we don't want to hear you meditating, thank you. Like, why is this happening? Can we just have like a nice, okay, here, we'll do this one. All right. Spirit owl enhances your connection to your higher self, guiding you beneath the compelling nature of appearances where a vastly different and spiritually empowering perspective is available to you. From such heightened avenues, such heightened awareness, you can accurately intuit the complex drives at work in yourself and others. This makes it easier to have compassion, outwit negativity, and make decisions that are helpful and healing rather than adding to the confusion or disorder. When Spirit Owl appears in a reading, a mystery is soon to be solved, and the ensuing clarity will bring relief and spiritual reward. As Spirit Owl is a message bearer, this oracle is also a positive omen for your future, a sign that a seemingly impossible or impenetrable situation is unraveling. 852 Hertz is the frequency of higher self-connection, which favors the clearing of the mind and an awakening of genuine insight and higher understanding. The frequency of 852 Hertz opens one to perceive light and communicate with the realms of higher light beings. With such clarity of mind, it is easy to recognize lower-level beings who do not operate from unconditional love and pure wisdom. There is no attraction to such beings, but a compassionate attitude toward them. What attracts the soul at this high frequency is the pure light of wisdom, grace, and spiritual liberation to which the soul is drawn for nourishment and restoration. When we are thirsty, we do not reach for an empty glass. We reach for one that is full. Seek nourishment that can truly offer what you need. There is no sense in seeking something another cannot provide you because of their spiritual limitations. Boom. Do not wait for somebody who cannot provide you with anything because of their spiritual limitations. That's literally what that position is for the feminine. You can only find it from those who are able to give. Keep this in mind as you awaken the inner eye of wisdom. Seek the purest love to nurture your heart and share it freely. 852 Hertz is a love-enhancing, freedom-generating frequency of the visionary. The third eye of the soul is the awakened inner eye, which sees things as they are without fear, because there is knowledge that healing is possible. We are ready for such vision when our hearts are ready to be free. Then we are prepared to stop fantasizing, start creating, and act with more wisdom because we have more clarity. The Oracle of Spirit Owl of 852 Hertz reconnects you to your authentic soul path and higher purpose. It is a sign that your mind is tuning into something true. It augurs clear seeing and higher understanding. You will be freed from a struggle and set on a creative, empowering, and effective path of manifestation. This is a blessing of creative psychological fire. Trust that the more you let go, the more you will experience renewal and stunning spiritual rebirth. The past is truly over and a new era is dawning. This is so significant to me. Is that not significant to you? That this is the healing for this block? Very significant. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the healing process. And like I said, I will just turn off the video when it's all completed. And thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. You may close your eyes. Connect consciously to your breath. As you exhale, imagine, intend, feel, or visualize your energy grounding in deeper connection to the Earth Mother. You can close your eyes if you wish, feeling that the grounding process is enabling a stronger internal orientation, moving your awareness inwards and downwards, settling into the interior depths of your being. Within that interior realm, there is such spaciousness. It is alive, vital, and receptive. into that intelligent void, you can release anything you have held on to mentally, physically, or emotionally. It is peaceful to do this. It is enjoyable to do this. You become more of your true and effortless natural self as this happens. Gently allow attachments to be dissolved lovingly and set free into that spaciousness. The spaciousness is a sacred womb of the universal goddess. Out of that emptiness, many beautiful new creations will emerge. Continue with this process for as long as feels best for you. When you are ready, slowly follow your breath back to your physical body in the here and now. Ground yourself by feeling your earth connection and allowing some movement. Hydrate your body with clean, fresh water in abundance with gratitude. You have completed your healing process.